St. George News is hitting homes with its very first weekly print edition, bringing local reporting you trust right to your door. Zion National Park faces a major funding shortfall after the shutdown, and we'll show you how nonprofits are stepping in to keep the park running. Plus, we'll have your daily weather and more coming up.
You're watching St. George News at 5, brought to you by our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law.
St. George News is rolling out its first ever weekly print newspaper with thousands of free copies delivered across the city today. The new edition features original, locally sourced reporting from the newsroom you already trust online, now available in a cozy, easy-to-read format each Friday. It's all part of a renewed commitment to deliver news you can use, whether on paper or on your screen. Zion National Park is facing a major funding shortfall after the recent government shutdown halted entrance fee collections, leaving millions in lost revenue that nonprofit partners say will have long-lasting impacts. Let's go to Alicia Lundgren for more on how Zion Forever is helping the park recover and what this means for vital services like shuttles, education programs, and maintenance.
While Zion National Park may be open and park rangers are back to work, officials from the Zion Forever project say the government shutdown will have lingering impacts to funding. While the government was shut down for over 40 days, the park was not charging its $35 entrance fee, leading to a loss of $35,000 to $55,000 per day. These funds go toward critical services such as Zion's shuttle bus system. Zion Forever set up an informational booth and encouraged visitors to donate their entrance fee, bringing in $1,200 to $2,000 per day. However, officials say this still represents a large loss in funds that aren't recuperated. To learn more about how the shutdown impacted Zion National Park and how to support local nonprofits, parks, and monuments, read the full article.
Let's take a look at your weekend weather forecast, brought to you by Casablanca Resort and Casino. Starting in St. George, today we'll hit a high of 57 degrees with a low around 43. Saturday brings a high of 63 and a low near 43. Sunday looks to be the warmest of the 3 days with a high near 62 and an overnight low around 39. Over in Mesquite, expect a high around 64 and a low of 49. Saturday warms up to 66 degrees with a low near 48. Sunday remains mild with a high of 66 and low about 43. Up in Cedar City, the cooler air is more noticeable today. Expect a high near 45 and a low of 31. Saturday will reach about 48 with a low around 31, and Sunday should see a high near 50 with an overnight low close to 30. Utah health officials are urging families in southern Utah to check their vaccination status as a surge of measles cases hits the Short Creek area. State epidemiologist says most of Utah's infections are tied to Hilldale and Colorado City, where vaccination rates are well below the herd immunity threshold. Clinics have seen a recent increase in families seeking the MMR vaccine, and health leaders are stressing early dosing for infants and strict quarantine if someone becomes sick. Nearly 82 million Americans are expected to travel for Thanksgiving this year, with officials urging southern Utah drivers to prepare for heavy traffic, tight construction zones, and winter conditions. Let's go to Maury Kessler for what travelers should know before hitting the road and how to stay safe during the holiday rush.
AAA says nearly 82 million Americans will travel for Thanksgiving this year, about 1.6 million more than last year. Most will be driving, with more than 73 million people on the road. UDOT is pausing most construction, but drivers should expect narrow lanes and shifts on I-15 south of Cedar City. Officials also urge travelers to check weather and traffic conditions before heading out. Thanksgiving is also one of the deadliest holidays on U.S. roads, with speeding and impaired driving as major factors. Drivers are encouraged to drive safely and courteously, but also prepare ahead of time as AAA responded to nearly 600,000 roadside calls last year. Airports will also be busy, with 6 million people expected to fly. Travelers should arrive early, stay flexible, and keep an eye on their flight status. TSA is easing some rules, including shoe removal, but liquid limits still apply. To learn more, read the story.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. To learn more about our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law, go to wewininjurylaw.com. I'm Monica McLaughlin with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5, brought to you by We Win Injury Law.